So the webinar is founded by Youth Included, and it's under the Urban Creatives project. I have sent you a link in the Zoom chat, and also it's in the webinar description to our website. You have find there many informations about ecology and healthy lifestyle. You can find their articles and webinars. And also we have their map, which we launched, and you can explore local English and eco-friendly places in Prague. And now I will give a word to Angela.
Thank you, Marta. Well, yes, today we have our webinar of Urban Vegetable Garden. First, for all the people that don't know me, I will like to give like a little bit of introduction. So my name is Angela Bague Campos. I'm expat living in Prague. I'm Mexican. Practically, I start doing this because Prague inspired me, and also Czech Republic because it's very, very green. And also I have to say that also I need to say thanks to COVID, because these two things really inspire me to start growing my own vegetables at home. It's a very good hobby to do. Even that I don't have like many space at my place and my apartment, I really managed to have like a very good distribution of a garden in my balcony last year. I had like a very, very good harvest, like from July until November. So I really recommend like others to start doing this green journey. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, you can find me in my social media. I'm like Nature with Angie in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on. And then, so the topics that we will cover today, I would like to have these four topics. The first one is like the recap of the first webinar that we have with Youth Included, that it was Introduction to Urban Gardening. The reason is because some of the topics over there are very connected with the topics that I will explain. And also regarding the vegetable garden, I have three topics to cover. That is how to start, and the do's and the don'ts things to do, the essential care and information. And also I will cover like a little bit part of growing in direct soil. Okay. And also, please, if you have like any questions, you can write in the chat, and we will have the discussion at the end of the session. So perfect. The first thing that I wanted to say, like, so the recapitulation of the introduction to urban gardening. Over there in that webinar, we cover like why gardening. We cover all the benefits, and that I can mention some of them. In my case, I think that this hobby really helped me to like control my stress, and also to have like an activity outside of my work and my daily activities. And it's a very good activity also to connect with other people. So right now, in this year, I started to participate in a community garden. It's very like a very good experience over there. So I really recommend like from the side that you can see the benefits. It's always like something good when you are gardening. The other part, and the obvious part, is that you will have like fresh food at your place, and it will be for free. Then also we cover in the introduction like what gardening. Over there, we mentioned that you can garden herbal flowers, also like edible flowers. The last thing is vegetables or fruits. And also over there, we cover a little bit in like in a very big overview way, like where, when, and how to gardening. Okay. So now, how to start? So this is very interesting. So how to build your vegetable garden. The first thing that you need to do is define the location. So if you have like a terrace, a balcony, or like a backyard, you can decide like in any of these places, and then you can start like growing your own vegetables. And the good thing is like you can adapt like any space available that you have, and like doesn't really matter like if you have like only 1 square meters or 3 square meters. You can really adapt that little space and start growing something. um, in this webinar, mostly I will speak about like how to grow things in containers, because this is the way that I started. And also this is like a very good way to start when you are like newbie in the vegetable world, because when you are growing things in containers, you can have like very good benefits, and one of them is that you can really control your plant. You can control the water, you can control like the light, the sun, where you put the container. And also it will also reduce the possibility to have the diseases, because like normally all the plants and all the gardeners will tell you, I have this pest in my plants, or I have this little animal, and it's always a problem. But I can really tell you that if you store in containers, it's better. Right now I'm doing the comparison, because I right now I have my urban garden on my balcony, and also I have one urban garden in a plot in a community garden. So I'm comparing right now, and yes, like there's like a lot of difference between the plants that I have at my home and the plants that I have in direct soil. Okay, so the second point, like how to start, is to get the soil and the pots or containers that you will use. And all of these you can get from nursery houses or greenhouses or big stores or supermarkets. And here I have two recommendations. In Prague, we have these two big stores. Hladek is like a nursery house where you can find like all the plants and all the seeds and all the things related to plants. And the other one is Hornbach. This store also is present in other parts of Europe, so you can find this. And like the equivalent of this store, like in US or in another part in Mexico, Latin America, it's Home Depot. So all of these stores is for your reference. You can go there and you can get over there like containers, seeds, soils, and from there you can start having your material to start your vegetable garden. And just a tip also over here, sometimes nursery houses, they used to give like for free, like the old pots. So if you don't want to spend, if you don't want to invest money to get like nice or new containers, also you can go to these stores, and then you can ask like if they have like something like over there that they consider garbage, but in the reality is not garbage. um, and then the next topic, how to start. So um, the third thing is that you need to choose which vegetables or fruits you want to grow. And this is very important. Sometimes people say, I will just throw seeds in the container, but the best way to do it is like really think about the space that you have, and really think about like which vegetables you really like, and then start from there. And also a tip over here is like it's better if you are like very new in this world. It's better if you start with easy plants or compact plants if you don't have like too much space. And I will have like a little bit overview of like the basic vegetables that I consider that you can grow like in a easy way. And then the last thing to how to start is like start planting. So over here is like get your little germination pot, and I have some examples over here in the presentation. In the right side we have the cocoa bricks. This method actually is a very good one, and it's something kind of new, and it's very good for the plants. They really grow very well. And also an advantage growing over there is that you will reduce the possibility to develop little animals in the plant. And also another option to start planting, it can be like getting these little greenhouses like the one in the left. You can get that one from like any store or from online store. Like and you can Google this garden tray or propagator, and then you will have like all the online stores that has these kind of greenhouses available. And then the last recommendation over here, if you don't want to invest again, I recommend you to use the like the egg box, because it's like it's the same. So practically, it's like you are reusing. It's very good for the plants. I have tried it several times, and it's the same. You only need to have like the cardboard of the egg, and you will fulfill with soil, and like every part that where the egg belongs, it will be like a part for like one plant. So I'll also I recommend this if you don't want to invest money. So perfect. I don't know, like if someone has like any questions, please again, uh, just write it into the chat, and then I will have the answers at the end. Okay, so the next thing that I want to speak about it is the do's and the don'ts. So these are like a very good tips when you are started to planting, and some of them it's because many people had come to me and they raised this question. So it's like a common question that people raise. So the first thing when you are planting, if you have your container, first you need to fill the container until the half of the container with soil, and then you need to water it before to put the seed. So that is important. And the reason is because you need to prepare like the soil to receive the seed. Okay. So after you do this, then you can place the seed into the pot. And also another important thing, just put like one or two or three seeds, not more. Like it's important that you give the space that the plant requires. Okay. And then what is the next step when planting? So put the seed in the correct deepness. Some plants and some seeds, they require only 1 centimeter under the soil. Other ones will require 3 or until 5 centimeters. So be very careful with this, because if you don't place in the right deepness the seed, it can be that in the future it will not burn the plant. So you really need to take care this into consideration. And if you don't know like how deep to put the seed, don't worry. If you get the seeds from like any store, you always have over there like the recommendation, like the general recommendations about when to plant it, and also like how deep you need to plant this. So always follow what it says over there. Okay. And then another tip over here. So be patient with this, because some seeds will burn like very quickly, and some others will take like up to 2 weeks. So you really need to be patient. Just take care of the plant. Just try to water the soil when it's required, and then eventually the plant will burn. And the last thing to do is tag your pots. And this is like a very common mistake that many people used to do, even like myself. If you don't tag your pots, and if you are planting a lot of different plants, then when you will have like the little seedlings of the plants, you will not know like which plant is what. And for example, if you are growing peppers and chilies and you have like a lot of variety of these, you will not know like which kind of chili, which if this is a pepper or like what exactly it is, because the plants can look very similar at the beginning. Okay, if not, if you don't tag your pots and if you put a lot of seeds like in different containers, so you will need to wait until they grow, like until 2 months later, and then you will know what is over there. So that's why it's better like you tag your pots. So now the part of the don'ts. So important thing that also I said in the first webinar that we have about introduction to gardening is like don't overwater. This is a very important thing, and please like don't do it. Like many people say, okay, my plant needs water like 3 times per day, and that is not true. Always you need to take in consideration how the soil looks and also how the plants looks, and it's so much better if you water them just like one or one per day, or like every 2 days, than overwatering the plant. Because if you overwater a plant, the plant probably will develop like some disease, and also it also can kill the plant. So it's so much better that you put less water than like a lot of water. Okay. And then another thing that you must not do is like don't insert more than 3 seeds per pot, or insert them randomly. And this is connected with the thing that I say before. And here is it's so important. Like many people told me, like I just put like some seeds in a container and it's not growing, or there are like 50, like literally 50 plants growing in a container, and they don't know what to do. And the thing is that because it's not a correct way to do it, like you are wasting your seeds, you will waste your time, because probably these plants will not grow so big, or one plant will kill like the others. So it's important, really, really, just put like maximum 3 seeds per pot. And even if you put 3 seeds per pot, you will need to separate them like when they are like a little bit bigger, or you will need to kill one of these plants. So my recommendation and what I'm doing after learning last year is just like 1 seed or maximum two. For me, it's like maximum two. And when I'm putting two and I see that the two plants are growing very, very nicely, I try to separate like with so much care. Okay. And then the last point over here. So don't combine different seeds in one pot. Again, this is a thing that many people has told me, like, oh, I have here my container, and here I'm growing tomatoes, I'm growing I don't know, like salad, or I'm growing also like chilies over there. And what will happen if you do that is that if the container is so little, one plant again will kill the other, because at the end they need these nutrients, this food from the soil, and they will compete with each other. Okay. So now we will talk about this, about the essential care and information for basic vegetables. This list that I will say is not like list like from somewhere. It's the list that I learned by myself. Is the vegetables that I know that are very easy to grow and that I recommend to grow. Okay, so the first one is the tomatoes, also peppers. Why also peppers? Because these two vegetables came from the same family. So normally when a plant comes from a same family, the care is the same. So this is a very good thing to learn. And then, so important thing over here, both seeds doesn't require too much deep to like to plant them, okay? And also over here, when you plant this seed into the soil, into your container, this seed normally burns between half week to 1.5 weeks. and this really depends in your weather. If like many people like here in Europe, we start to planting in from February to April, and in that months we still have like some cold weather. So when you have cold weather, maybe it will take more time to burn the seed. But if you are planting, for example, right now in July, you already have like a very good weather. So if you are planting right now, probably the seed will burn like in 4 5 days. So that's it's a very good thing. And then another thing to learn over here: every plant, literally every plant, when the plant born, it will develop 2 leaves, and these leaves are called cotyledons. These leaves are not the real ones. So all the plants, when they are babies, they look the same. That's why I told you before that you need to tag your pots, because otherwise it will be like a very difficult to know like which plant do you have like over there. Also, so why I'm talking about the real leaves and these cotyledons, because when the plant starts to develop like the real leaves, you need to be very carefully, because it's when the plants requires a little more of care. And also it's important because when the plant has already like around 4 to 6 or to 8 leaves, it's time to repot. So it's important. Tomatoes and peppers normally requires like two repotting, and the first one happened in this moment that I'm saying. So when the plant has already 6 or 8 real leaves, it's time to repot. And it's important because if you leave the plant like in the original container, for example, if we take the example of the coconut brick, so the coconut brick is like very, very, very little. If you leave it over there, it will not be so good for the plant, because it will require more food, more nutrients, more water. So it's important that you make this a repot on time. And normally, I recommend when you are doing this first repotting to place the plant like in a very not so big. It could be like a little pot also, but I recommend between 8 to 12 centimeters of diameter. Normally, it's like a pot over like this, and like this. Okay. So when you have this, you will again put some water in the plant. Normally, tomatoes and peppers requires water all the days, but as I said before, don't overwater. Okay. And then the second repot, and also this is the last repot of the plant, it will happen when the plant reach like a height of 15 to 20 centimeters. So when you have like a plant of that size, is when it's time to repot to the final pot. And then you will need to place this plant like in the final place outside in the balcony or in the backyard. Okay. um at least you need to choose a container of 10 liters. Okay, so this is an important thing. Tomatoes and peppers requires a lot of water to grow, so the bigger the pot, the happier the plant will be, really. And this is important. If you provide a size a little bit less, you will require to put more water and more fertilizer, and so on, like in like more frequently. So it's better to at least choose these 10 liters, to just like water one per day, and to put fertilizer one per week. Okay. And here, well, I have a photo. In the photo in the left, it's practically one of my plants that I have in my balcony. Right now, all my tomatoes are green. They are still growing. And I will give you also like some tips like how to grow this like in a faster way. So here the tips and tricks. So tomatoes needs to be pruned. That means that in this part, as you can see, there are like many leaves, and some of them it's not necessary to keep them. So I really recommend, and it's a very good practice to do, is like to cut the leaves that the tomatoes doesn't require. Also, you can see over here, like here is my other tomato, and here you can see that it looked like a very like tiny, but it's better to that the tomato looks like that than than the tomato looks like a tree. And the reason is because if the plants start just only producing leaves, all the food, all the water, all the nutrients, or all the fertilizer will go to the leaves. So, and you don't want that, of course, because you want tomatoes. So that's why you need to cut the leaves that you don't require. And also because it's very important to facilitate the plant to have like wind, because if the plant doesn't have like the enough wind around the plants, it can develop like some disease over there. Okay. And also, like the second point of a tip that that I need to say, and also this is like a very common mistake that many people used to do, is that they just put the plant outside and that's all, and they just put water and so on. But the thing is that as you see over here, the tomatoes normally are like very tiny, so you really need to give them support. And it's the same with the peppers. Okay, so always put like a stick next to the plant to guide the plant in the right direction, and also to support the plant, because when the plants start to develop tomatoes, obviously it will be like so heavy for the leaves to maintain the tomatoes. So if you put the stick, you can help the plant to have this support that the plant requires. And the difference over here, tomatoes can grow until 2 meters, and and the peppers, they usually grow like until 30 to 50 centimeters. So also like the size of the sticks needs to be like in proportion to the size of the plant. Okay. And then the last tip over here. So flowers of tomatoes can be pollinated like very easily, like with the wind. That's why it's important that you leave like some space for the plant and for the wind. With the wind, the flowers can be pollinated. And also, if you do like a little shake it like this, literally, like one flower with the other, is enough like to start growing like a tomato in the plant. Okay. And then now I would like to talk about another favorite vegetable that I used to grow, and this is are the cucumbers, zucchinis, and squashes. So practically all of these again came from the same family. So when it came from the same family, as I mentioned before, is the same care that you need to provide them. And also, I really like this vegetable. My favorite one is actually zucchini, because when you put the seed into the soil, it can grow like very quickly. Like my record right now is 2 days to grow this, but the normal time to grow this is between half a week until 1 week. Okay. And then when the plant start to growing again, it will develop these cotyledons that are not the real leaves. But after the cotyledons, it will start to develop that like the real leaves. And the real leaves looks like this photo. That also this photo belongs to my garden. And this is how looks the real leaves, and it will be like this size. When the plants start to develop this, and also start to develop this little like I don't know how it's a little flower over here. I don't know if you see the little flower over here. When the plants start to develop this, and it has already like 4 to 6 leaves, like real leaves, it's time to repot. But important here, contrary to the tomatoes, the zucchinis, cucumbers, or squash only require one repot. So that's mean that if you grow the like the vegetable like in the little container, in the little pot, then when you repot the vegetable, it needs to be like in the final pot. Okay. And here also important, if you want them to grow very happy, you need to give them at least 30 liters, okay? Because this plant will grow like very big, like literally this plant usually grows like until it can grow like very high. And when you have this plant, and if you have this plant in the container, also you need to grow this like vertically, because if you don't grow this vertically, it will not grow like correctly. For example, cucumbers are like a very good vegetable. They grow very fast. But also, if you don't guide these leaves of the cucumbers, it will fall the vegetable. Okay. So also a very good tip over here is you need to grow the all of these vegetables like in these containers, but try to get containers that are bigger in the white parts, because normally the containers are like can be like very high, but it's difficult to get these containers that are wider, so it's better like wider. Try to get these containers, okay? And also important regarding the water. These plants normally requires water like every 2 or 3 days. They doesn't require like a lot of water as the tomatoes, but it's important that if you are growing these in containers, yes, they will need like a little bit of more frequency to grow the fruit. And important over here also, try to water from the bottom, because if you put water into the leaves, probably again this will lead to have like some disease in the plant, and obviously we don't want this, because all the diseases are very horrible to have and are very horrible to control. Okay. And then, so other veggies to grow, and I would like to summarize over here like other veggies to grow, because there are like many veggies, but these are some that I have tried. And again, try to grow your favorite vegetables or fruits at home. Okay. I personally recommend also to grow potatoes. Last year when I tried it for the first time, some people told me, "Oh, you are crazy! It's impossible to grow potatoes in containers." But actually, it is possible. And what I did is to use. I got like 2 potatoes from the supermarket. I leave it like in one rack in my kitchen, and then the potatoes start to develop these sprouts that also is called eyes. And when they start to grow in these little things like in the top of the potatoes, is when it's time to plant them. And if you what I did and what I can recommend you, if you put these 2 potatoes in a container of 30 liters, you will have like a very good harvest of potatoes. It's possible, totally possible. You will have like around 1.5 kilos at least. And it's a very nice process, because also potatoes plant are very easily to grow. Like literally, it's one of my favorite plants, because they need water once per week, so that is perfect. So practically you only, well, what I was doing in the past, it was like to put like an alarm in my cell phone. So every Sunday I was like watering my potatoes, and that was all. For the rest of the plants, obviously you need to be like more carefully to take care. But with potatoes, it's so easily. You only put water once per week, and that's all. And when the plants start to having all the leaves like yellow, or start like kind of dying, is when it's time to harvest. Okay. And then another things that you can grow, also chilies that I already mentioned. Chilies are from the same family of peppers, tomatoes. So if you want to grow also like different kind of chilies, like jalapeno, habanero, or something like that, you can grow them this following the instructions of the tomatoes and peppers. And the last one, also you can grow onions, carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower, and so on. Practically, literally, whatever that you want to grow in containers, you can do it. You only need to be very carefully when you choose your container. So the container and the size of the container is the key. Okay. As I say over here, so for the first tube, you don't need like a very big container with the onions and carrots, but yes, you will need like these containers needs to be like very high, like at least 20 or 30 centimeters of high, because these vegetables grow like directly in the soil. Okay. And from the for the others too, I recommend to use like a similar containers that the cucumbers and zucchinis, because these plants also like grow like very wide. Okay. And so I hope that no one is getting bored with this topic. I hope that it's very interesting for everyone. I really like this topic. And well, right now I would like to explain you a little bit about growing vegetables in direct soil and why is the difference that growing like in containers. Okay. So first, so sometimes people say, I have a space reduced. If you have space reduced and you say this is a limitation to grow vegetables, like I have in my garden only 2 square meters, or I have only in my garden 5 square meters, it's not enough. I have like a very good news for you. And yes, you can still plant over there. Okay. And here is my example. Here in the left, you can see the photo of my plot. This is the space that I have in my community garden. And practically I have over here like a lot of plants. I have cauliflower, I have potatoes, I also have broccoli, cucumbers, corn, tomatoes, chilies, and it's only a matter of that you need to be very careful in planning. So that's the key. When you are planting directly in soil and you have like a reduced space, it's important like to plan very carefully your garden. And it's always possible. So see, this is like a very little space that I have, and even with that, I managed to create this distribution of the plants. Just one difference from the containers. So I told you that containers, you can grow like everything. You can put the one plant per container and they will be like very happy because they will have their own soil, their own water, and so on. The thing that when you are growing in direct soil, you need to be like a little bit more careful, because some plants compete with others. And here I have like some examples. For example, tomatoes and potatoes came from the same family, but they don't like to be together. Like, for example, you can put peppers and tomatoes together, are from the same family, but if you put potatoes and tomatoes, one plant will kill the other. So you need to be like more carefully when growing in direct soil, because at the end, all this space that you have to grow vegetables, it will be shared with all the plants. And then another combination that you cannot do, is broccoli with cauliflower. You might seen over here that it can be like a little bit close, my my cauliflower with the broccoli, but in reality they are not. And also the thing is that I'm using the potatoes, that actually potatoes grow very happy with broccoli and cauliflower. So I'm using the potatoes like a wall between these two plants. Okay. And so it's a matter of like combine very carefully, like how you put your plants outside. And another example that I have is like crop association. So also um, you can have like this, like some plants will compete with each other, but also other plants will get benefits growing together. And you cannot see over here because it's in the last part of the photo. Over there I have zucchinis with beans and also corn. These three plants are a very good combination because one plant will give like some support and some nutrients to the other plants. For example, the beans will give some nutrients to the corn, and the corn will help the beans to grow because normally the beans needs to have like a stick, but if you have like the corn, like the bean will grow like around the corn. So it's a good combination. And also the zucchini provides like also like some nutrients to the soil when you are growing these other things together. Okay. And then another tips that I want to say. So it's regarding the soil. If you don't want to have like any issue combining the soil, reading the instruction about like combine one part of this, two part of the other, and so on, you can get the soil already prepared from the different stores. So if you go to the supermarket or this big store that I mentioned at the beginning, like the nursery houses and so on, they will have already like some soil already prepared and with some nutrients over there, and with all the combination that the plants require. So you can, like in the stores, you can get like literally soil for tomatoes or soil for vegetables or soil for berries. And that if you don't want to have like any problem like combining the soil, you can get this. You can put it into the container and you can use that. Um, and then um, also, if you want to create your own soil, okay, if you want to go to this adventure, you can do it. But the thing over here is that you will require at the end to have like different like elements, different like ingredients to prepare your soil. And some of these are like perlite, another is humus, and other can be coconut substrate and also fertilizers. So the thing is that when you are mixing your soil, you need to be very carefully with the things that you need to put inside. Like normally it's like two parts of normal soil with one part of perlite, one part of coconut, and so on. But that really depends like in each plant. So it will be more difficult if you are starting to growing vegetables and you don't have like a lot of experience. I just recommend you to just get the substrate that is already prepared, because that will help you a lot to start. And another tip over here, the fertilizers. So there are many people ask me all the time which fertilizer is the best. To be honest, I don't have a favorite one. I'm using what I can use. I'm not so big fan of of the chemicals in my plants. So normally I'm always like buying these like bio fertilizers that has like different ingredients from the nature. But also over here, if you don't want to spend money on the fertilizers, also you can do your own compost, and with your own compost that will be like a fertilizer for your plant. But just a thing, to create compost, to be honest, is not also too easily. Right now I'm trying to do it in the community garden that I am participating, but it's a very work of several weeks. It's a work of like to put like different ingredients together. Then you need to wait like 2 weeks, and they start to like having these nutrients and changing the composition. And also you need to add like some stuff over there. So it's like I don't recommend you if you are starting to create compost. Maybe this is not the one of the first steps that you need to take care right now. And it's better to go to the store and get like some fertilizers over there. You will have like the information about this is fertilizer for tomatoes, this is fertilizer for berries, this is fertilizer for corn, and so on. So it's always like to go to the store and just to get the fertilizer that it's better for yourself. And also if you are not if you don't have like any problems with the chemicals, so you can use also that one. I personally I don't like it. Normally the ones that are bio are more expensive, but I prefer like in this way to grow my vegetables. Okay. Then so last, I would like to show you over here all the photos that I have from this year. So practically during the last weeks, this has been my harvest. And actually the photo in the right one, in the right part, is the harvest of today. And I'm very proud because for the first time in my life, I was able to harvest broccoli. I harvest these two big head of broccoli and also one big head of cauliflower and some other things like zucchini and so on. But you can see over here, like literally, I think that every day I'm harvesting something. I started to plant in in April, well, in between February to April, I start to plant things, and I still like planting more things. So you can see over here like a little plants. I like to plant, and I'm always like doing these plants like in the different seasons. And if you do this, you will have like harvest all the time. Like right now, I have like a lot of zucchinis. I have like my own strawberries. I have this is like a photo of my of my breakfast. Normally, this is my breakfast. I'm getting my strawberries and my blueberries from my balcony. And also I'm getting like the rest of the things right now. I'm harvesting this from my community garden, so from the plot. And you can grow like everything as I say. And right now also broccoli, I have one broccoli growing in a container in my balcony. So everything is possible. I really recommend you to do it because it's very nice. Like you want to eat something and then you go to your balcony and then you get like some fresh food. And also it's very good for your health because normally when you are buying something in the supermarket, it's not you are not so sure about what you are really eating. But if you grow it by yourself, of course you will know like all the things are fresh, all the things has like this fertilizer or has this care. And also, well, you control also like the pests in your food. So well, with this, I would like to close the presentation. And now, if someone has like any questions, please you can write them in the chat, and I will do my best to answer them.
Thank you for the presentation. I wrote my questions.
Super, super. So if no one wants to raise any questions, so everything is clear. I don't see, Natalia, I don't see the chat. So if you can tell me if there's something or not.
Sorry, I can see that I wrote it to everyone, but my questions were, first one, isn't it too late to start planting veggies in July?
Actually, no. I did it last year, and also I'm doing right now. Here I have like some little plants, and it can like some people will say it's very very late. Like you cannot grow right now, but don't hear that, people. You can always you can always grow like something. Last year I start to I plant my zucchini plant in July actually, and I have like very good harvest until October. So because as I mentioned in the presentation, zucchini plants grows like very quickly. So if you have like a good weather, so the plant will grow like faster. And yeah, I can tell you like it's not too late to start growing something. And also, for example, uh, broccoli and cauliflower also has their own like the seasons. So my cauliflower and broccoli that I'm harvesting right now, I put them like at the beginning of no, at the end of February. But there's another season. So if you start planting right now broccoli, you will harvest around October or November. So all the plants can be grow like in any time. And also tomatoes. I grew tomatoes last year, and I did it also like in different cycles. So some of them I started in February, some of them I started like even in July, and I have like harvest until November.
That's very reassuring. And my second question uh, was about the community garden. How often do you go there, and which one in Prague do you recommend?
Well, yes, there's a lot of in Prague. I think that right now there are around of six community gardens. I have a map of the community gardens. Later, I can share with you, and I can share also in my page. The one that I'm going is it's called Metro Farm. It's in Prague 7 in Oleszowice. It's practically between Troja and Stromovka. So it's very like accessible, and you can go there like whenever you want. Practically, it's open 24 hours. I'm going when I have time. And to be honest, like right now, I think that I'm going, normally I'm going three or twice per week.
I think that's how normal person can also arrange time during the week so that it's not so much.
Yeah, it is not. And actually, well, if you have like rain and so on, well, that is very good for your plants. So that helps you a lot to, you don't need to go there and to water the plants. So you only go there to harvest. For example, today I went like quickly, and then I have this very big surprise of my broccoli and cauliflower. So it was like a very big surprise, and I say, okay, I will harvest today, and that's all.
Mhm. That's great. We have one more question from Lucy. I don't know if you can see that.
I cannot see the questions.
Okay, so I'm reading it out loud. In my house, there is a very little sun. Do you know any plants that I can grow with?
In my house is a very what? Sorry.
Yes, in my house, there is very little sun. Do you know any plant that I can grow with little sun?
Ah, little son. Okay, yeah, that's a thing and a topic very very important when you are growing. So when you don't have like the enough sunlight, you can only grow like little things like some I don't know, like onions or carrots or salad. Also, salad you can grow over there because regarding these plants that I talk about, like tomatoes, chilies, and so on, they normally requires a lot. Well, chilies not so much. Actually, chilies is a very can be a very good recommendation Because, for example, what happened with my chilies when I put them in the balcony, at the beginning, I put them like in a very position, like directly to the soil. And they started to be like very, very sad because they started to get burned with the soil. And we don't have a lot of sun here in Prague. So I think that any variety of chili, of pepper, you can grow in same like in shadow, and also like salad. Salad is also very easily to grow. And as I have the photo over here, you can have salad all the time, and doesn't require like a lot of like this were growing like directly, like totally in the shadow. I hope that that will help you, Lucy.
Sure,
Yes.
thank you very much.
So any other question?
I don't see any other in a chat, but maybe someone would like to ask directly.
Yeah, if someone also want to unmute and raise a question, it's okay. Don't be shy. So it seems that we have a very quiet people today.
Or you presented it so well that there are no questions.
Yeah, hopefully. I know that there's a lot of information, and actually when I was creating the presentation, I have like a very hard time because there's many things to say, and it's difficult to put all the information in just one presentation and in just one webinar. But yes, I try to do the best. I provide here like the recommendation. And anyway, if you don't have like any question right now because you don't know yet like what to plan and so on, um, don't worry. Also, I think that we will publish this, right, Natalia? This webinar.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see the video again. And if you have like any questions, you can write me. Here are my social media. I have also, as I say at the beginning, I'm present in all the social media. I'm present in Instagram, Facebook. I have my blog, and if you have like any questions, like feel free to send me a message. Like many people used to do this, and I really like to share my knowledge. So if there's nothing, like if there's like any other questions, so maybe we can close the call today, Natalia. And here are some credits, like really like thank you very much, Natalia, for this space and also for the opportunity to present this interesting topic. And also thanks to the team of Urban Creatives Project that creates like this series of webinars. This is the last webinar of plans. If you want to see the other webinars, the webinars are available in the page, and also you can see them like in my page in Facebook. So feel free to rewatch the webinars, and if you have like any question, just comment over there or just send me like a message, and I will be very, very happy to help you.
Thank you very much for everything. And,
Thank you.
have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.